Let independent artists shine. Shine the light on the underground. Music Monday videos. Make it one day, here we go. Some make it featured on the show. Sign up and get on your grizzly, yo. You might have seen them on the road with the camera and the microphone. Shine the light on independent artists. Yeah, they gon' hate, we gon' get it regardless. Trying the hardest to get to the bag. Walking that Instagram class. Raw on that old duty bass. Shimmy, 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 yeah. Gimme more. Music Monday video. Music Monday videos. One exposure, there it go. Wanna get it, there it go. Wanna make it, here it go. Music Monday videos. Wanna get it, there it go. One exposure, there it go. Wanna make it, here it go. There it go. Music Monday, here it go. Music Monday, here it go. Music Monday, there it go. Music Monday videos. Wanna make it, there it go. Wanna get it, here it go. One exposure, there it go. Videos, 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 videos. Music Monday videos, videos. Give me more. One exposure, there it go.
Yeah. You already know what it is. We back with Music Monday videos. It's your boy, Jonny Fastlane. That was Samad Savage right there with his latest video. And right now, I'm joined by Kshoya. How you feeling?
I'm doing great. Johnny, what's up? What's good?
I'm good. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? We relaxing right now. We in Brooklyn. We have Music Monday videos. We got Another Planet Studios right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling the vibe. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm loving it too. You know, I'm real happy right now. You know, content.
So, Kshoya, she is a marketing genius. She's worked with a bunch of artists. She's an artist herself. She's interviewed a bunch of people. She has her own platform. She's a journalist, a media personality, everything, right? Yes. So, I mean, we're going to get into all of that. But first, you know, let's take it back in the time, you know? Where you from?
Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay,
you know?
What part?
Originally from 90s Brooklyn and Brownsville, so you could say both.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was it growing up in Brooklyn, and did that kind of influence you and like what you wanted to do?
Yeah, you know, well, my family's from Jamaica, so both my parents is from there, and I was born in Brooklyn. So I grew up in 96 in Church Avenue. So, you know, that whole area was like West Indians. Everybody there was mostly
Jamaicans and Haitians.
Yeah, you know, from the Caribbean pretty much. So my first 10, 11 years of life was in that kind of atmosphere. Everybody I was around was like Jamaican, pretty much Caribbean. I went to my 11 junior high school, and mostly everybody there, parents was from the Caribbean. So I mean, yeah, and then my dad was a big time selector back in the day, back in the 80s. Yeah, he had his own sound, third world hi-fi sound. So, you know, that have a lot of influence on me because my parents were heavily into music. So yeah, that was my exposure as a child coming into the world or whatever. Yeah.
So, you know, the music that you were listening to growing up, I'm guessing that influenced you as far as your artistry, right?
Yeah. As a kid, my mom, she threw me into like a lot of lessons, being like singing, music, piano, exposed to all these different type of lessons. Plus, like I said, my father was a selector. So, you know, I grew up, my parents was always playing music in the house, booming down the speakers, always going to parties. My dad had me at like a lot of parties with him, so I was always in that environment. So, yeah, it influenced me to get into entertainment because that's what I was always around.
I mean, that's dope, you know, and the way that I kind of know you, actually, the way I first started hearing about you was through interviewing other artists, you know, actually your journalist lane, right? So I want to ask you a little bit about that. Did you go to school for journalism? Is it just a natural kind of knack that you have for it? Because I'm interviewing you right now.
Yeah.
But it's usually not like that. It's usually the other way around.
Yeah, I'm usually the one that's interviewing artists. You know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of interviews. I've executive produced a lot of shows. I used to be on BCAT, Public Access TV. and my own TV show also on Roku cable right now. I got going on the MJ Own Network. Shout out to Mariah in Atlanta for MJ Own Network for that. She plugged me in onto Roku cable, so you know. But nah, it was kind of natural. Like back in, okay, let me see, 2000 and something. I started out like being a host, interviewing people on somebody else's show. They was the executive producer and whatever. But then it turned out it's like I ended up being a co-producer in the show because I was the one providing all the content, connecting. I'm the one who had all the links to the artists and people like that.
You were bringing the value to that platform.
Yeah, so it coming like I was one equal executive producer in my eyes because I was doing just as much. I was sitting down with the editing, like telling him like, nah, stop right there, do this, you know, and I was bringing every single interview that I've ever done. I'm the one that connected it or had the links to it. So I'm like, I might as well do my own thing.
Yeah.
After a while, I started like, I interviewed for different people platform and like, you know, bigging up their stuff. And I've done that for a lot of years, many different shows. And so eventually I just wanted my own because, you know, it just made sense.
I mean, so it's clear that you have a natural knack for these type of things, you know?
Yeah.
As far as being in front of the camera and then also being behind the camera, kind of letting artists know how they can tighten up a little bit, you know, where are the holes? How can you fix it? You know?
Yeah.
How did that come to you? Like, how are you able to just do that?
Well, I think my marketing skill, I think that's like a natural gift. I mean, like, all right, I used to intern at Bad Boy labels back in the day.
Okay.
All right, because I was always in the entertainment from a child coming up, right? So by the time I hit high school, I went to professional performing arts high school. A lot of people, Alicia Keys went there. A lot of people, that's in Manhattan. And then from there, it started because I started interning. I put myself in environments where, you know, the professionals and like Diddy was there every day. I walk into the office, I see Diddy, Black Rob, you know, big up Black Rob, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Black Rob.
Yeah, he became a friend of mine. Rest in peace to Britt Style too, cause from Junior Mafia. That was that was another friend of mine. We became friends from Bad Boy, and then eventually when I got to college, I ended up interning again for Atlantic Records because I wasn't sure. Okay, I always wanted to be an artist, like a musician at first. Everybody wanted to be a singer. Like back in the day, I wanted to do R&B singing. That's what I went to school for. But then I wanted to know more about the business behind the scenes and like the production, because they said the real money's in the production. And I wanted to learn the industry. So I wasn't sure exactly if I wanted to be in front of the camera or behind it. I wasn't sure. So that's why I ended up interning at Bad Boy and interning at Atlantic Records. And I got offered a job at Motown. It was a lot of stuff, you know? So I guess that was like my base. And watching, I learned a lot behind the scenes, watching these people. You know, I was working on the Carl Thomas project, stuff like that. So I got my experience from that, and I took that and ran with it into my own brand.
So when you were an artist, did you have a manager or anything like that? Or was it just you doing your own thing independently? And my next question is, did that influence you or push you into kind of wanting to know about behind the scenes? Because you as the artist didn't have that person to kind of guide you.
Well, I did have like two people when I was back in the day younger and stuff like that trying to be an artist. There was two different guys that I can remember that, okay, one time I was in a group with these two girls, but that's way back, but that's in high school days. We was trying to come out as a group. There was this guy representing us, and then that dissolved. And then when I became a solo artist, I had another guy trying to represent me at the time too. But I realized it felt like, honestly, I felt like, yo, I don't even need these people because it felt like I know more than them. Or it seemed like I was like kind of telling, I don't know. It didn't really seem like they really, I mean, no disrespect still, but it just seemed like they didn't really have all the skills like that to really bring me to that next level because I knew I had more connects. I don't know. It just didn't make sense. So
naturally for you, it was like, man, I mean, you didn't need a team. It was just you. You could stand on your own 2 feet, which brings me to the whole Gully Bop situation, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
when
let's fast forward.
You took him down to thisis50.com.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, over time I develop a lot of links and stuff like that, and I'm in both industries. I'm in the dance hall world, and I'm in the hip hop industry. I'm in both industries because by nature my family Jamaican, and that just I'm in both worlds. So over time I develop a lot of links and get to know a lot of people. So shout out to Hollywood Kev from G Unit. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much Gully Bop, he's a big time reggae artist. If you don't know who's Gully Bop, you could research Gully Bop in the dancehall / reggae world in Jamaica. He in Jamaica right now. And he was up here. He was in New York doing some promo. And I was running around at the time doing interviews for a TV show I was working called Carib Spotlight TV. Big up Damien from New Jersey. And Rapid Killer. Shout out to Rapid from Jersey. You know what I'm saying? He plugged me with that. But anyway, so I met Gully Bop at an event. And then I came to find out, I spoke to him. And then come to find out we was kind of connected through family. I didn't even know. Because his nephew is my cousin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I didn't even know because when Gully Bop, I was talking to him off camera and I was like, yo, my uncle in Jamaica, my uncle Beanie in Kingston or whatever. And he knew my whole family, my grandmother, everybody. And he was like, yo, I didn't even know that his sister had a child for my uncle, which is my cousin. But I don't know that cousin like that.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with him like that. So I was shocked. Like, and I called up my family to verify, like, yo, is this true? And they was like, oh, yeah. I said, what you mean? Oh, yeah. They was like, oh, yeah. So
when you brought Gully Bop up
Right.
to G Unit, he was offered a deal or something?
Yeah, so what happened was Gully Bop, he really wanted to meet 50 Cent. He kept on, like, the whole time. Like, I was around and we exchanged number, stuff like that. And then we started keeping in contact, communicating, right? And then so he was out here doing whatever music thing, and I told him, like, yo, I got links and stuff like that. And then he kept on talking about 50, how he want to meet 50 Cent. So, I mean, I happen to know Hollywood Kev from G Unit, which is one of 50 Cent right-hand man. You know what I'm saying? That's one of his people from his team. So I called him up like, yo, I got this Jamaican artist up here named Gully Bop, and I explained to him who Gully Bop was, and I told him, like, yo, he really, really, really want to meet 50. Is there anything you could do? Like, I never told this story. It's my first time still. But no, I didn't never get into the detail like this. But so he pretty much he said, yo, I can't make you no promises or nothing like that. But then he hit me back up. He was like, yo, how you feel about doing an interview at This Is 50? I was like, hell yeah. Like, you don't got to ask me twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
for
yeah,
real.
we definitely going to be there. So then I brought Gully Bop to This Is 50. Matter of fact, we was in the G Unit office. And he did the interview at This Is 50 label. He did the radio interview. I don't know what happened to it. I never seen it. But he did it with, I think, DJ Thorough.
Okay.
I believe it was DJ Thorough, if I'm not mistaken. So after the interview was done, 50 happened to be there. He was in his office, and then so Kevin called him over. He was like, yo, 50, I want you to meet somebody. I want you to meet some people or whatever. And then he wasn't even like, we just happened to meet him because he was there. So we was in the office or whatever.
Did 50 offer him a deal?
All right. He was offered a deal, not personally through 50, because this is what happened. 50 didn't know who he was at first, because Kevin was like, yo, this is Kshoya, and this is Gully Bop. But they was introducing me as his manager, right? They were on camera and the media and all that. They was introducing me as his manager. And I was like, yo, I ain't his manager. I'm just like, plugging him in. But then somebody behind the scenes told me, like, nah, you just go with it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, man, but I'm trying to get put on. I'm an artist by damn. So they was like, yo, you the manager right now. I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, they introduced 50, met him, and what happened was he pulled up his performances on his cell phone to show 50 like who he was, like he showed him a few performances that he's done with like mad people, performing over 50,000 people on a stage show. He was showing him different stage show performances. So 50
was
know.
like impressed and stuff?
Yeah, because 50 was like Gully Bop. Like, who? He didn't know who he was. So
then why did Gully Bop end up like turning down?
No, so what happened was 50 Cent saw he saw the stage shows and saw like real briefly because he didn't have time for all that. So he was just looking like, oh, okay. So then he was like, oh, he gave the nod like, oh, okay, like now, oh, you somebody now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then after 50 Cent, he just took a picture. Shout out to 50. Anyway, big up yourself. Big up This Is 50. Everybody up there, whoever gonna see this. Kevin, yo, I might need you for a next favor still, so I hope you hold me down. But anyway, yeah, I mean, he didn't really say much. He walked away. After he walked away, they introduced us to D-Tech. Shout out to D-Tech. D-Tech from Convict Records and some other people. So they introduced us to D-Tech and some other people. And then pretty much like okay, off camera, I was explaining who. Oh, okay. I got to make this quick, y'all. But okay, so I was explaining who Gully Bop was and trying to tell them, like I was telling them about him more because they couldn't really understand his accent because they said his accent is too strong. So I was like a translator translating the Jamaican and the English back and forth. So I told them, I was telling them who he was and stuff, and then they took an interest in him to want to work with him. Like, yo, like,
so
what's up? And
why did he end up turning? He just turned it down.
Yo. Honestly, man, yo, Gully Bop, I think Gully Bop, if you ever see this, I wish you would have took that deal when we was up at This Is 50 and they was talking to you because
yeah, I mean, like Gully Bop, you should have took the deal.
The deal was mentioned by D-Tech and some of the This Is 50 staff, the G-Unit staff. They was gonna put something together for him, make him do some collabs with hip hop artists and stuff like that, but he turned it down.
So all right, so we're going to wrap it up, right? That's the end of the interview right now. We're about to get into this next video.
Right.
And definitely, Kshoya, let them know where they can find you and everything.
Yo, you can find me, artists, you need promotions, Kshoya Entertainment, right here. KSHOY Entertainment, Instagram me. You know what I'm saying? Yo, big up everybody.
Everything.
Big up I Am Rolling Ray. Okay, per.
You already know what it is. Jonny Fastlane, musicmondayvideos.com.
Yeah, Jonny Fastlane, big up yourself. Straight.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want
Yo, where's the money?
Hey, yo pretty, I be really talking that bag talk. This big B's, them hat boys, I be really talking that rag talk. On game, that Gucci clutch, more change. That big bag, fair Wayne. This Glock wrapped in barrel mean. Good grip. This a lottery, quick pick. Don't fuck around and get clipped. Like a bitch I'm trying to go get. No cap. And this lifestyle, I stay strapped. If not, get hit, be it back. Get knocked like fuck it, I did that, and I ain't no snitch. But I ain't lying on this dick. Palm print on that ass, index on that click. That's my strap. I misspent the block and came back. Then I hopped out, did a walk up just to ensure the head tap.
It's about time we get to that bag.
It's about time we get to that bag, pretty.
It's about time we get to that bag.
It's about time we get to that bag, pretty.
When it's coming to this money, I don't find shit funny, cause I'm about to rack it up like a real boss. I be focused on the bag, no brakes or gas. If you need it, it's nothing for me to peel off. I've been on it for a while, you just seeing pretty now. Move quick, if not, fuck it, it's your loss. I've been playing in the field, on gang, on hills, on scene, so anything can get clipped off. Yeah, big grits, you will get left by a pretty bitch. Drop a nigga real fast, putting bodies on the grass, not a pretty little thing you wanna deal with. I was gone for a minute, now I'm back full fledged, all force and really ready to rip shit. And I'm really gonna take my shot, stay loaded with